Hi friends, good morning. Today let us discuss binomial distribution and also Poisson distribution. First let us see binomial distribution, problems on binomial distribution. See, if an experiment is conducted n times, then what is the probability of getting success or times? Right friends? An experiment, whatever the experiment may be, maybe a tossing coin, maybe a throwing a die, maybe a drawing a card from well shuffled pack, whatever the experiment may be, the experiment is done n number of times and we want the probability of getting our successes. So, number of experiments, that is number of trials is n. Out of n trials, we have to get our successes, where small p is the probability of getting a success and small q is the probability of getting failed. P is the probability of getting success and q is the probability of getting failure, that is not getting the required event. So this is defined as number of trials n, of n trials we have to get or successes, or sometimes trials as x successes. It doesn't make any difference. N trials we want or successes. Out of n trials we have to get or successes, where the probability of getting a success is p power r into q power n minus r. NCR into p power r into q power n minus r. The probability of getting r successes in n trials. For example, I tell you friends, a coin is tossed 5 times. A coin is tossed 5 times and we have to get head or tail. We have to get head exactly 2 times. So here the number of tries is n, that is 5. Out of 5 times we have to get 2 successes, that is 2 times head, falling head, that is r is 2, and then p and q. P is the probability of getting success, that is p is the probability of falling head. If a coin is tossed, the probability of falling head is 1/2 and falling head tail is 1/2. So here p is 1/2. See, it is either if a coin is tossed, either it falls head or it falls a tail. So it should be remembered always that p plus q is equal to 1. P plus q is always equal to 1. If we know p, we can find q. If we know Q, we can find P by subtracting from 1 minus. So, out of 5 trials, we have to get 2 heads, that is 5C2 into P, falling head, 1 by 2 whole power R 2 into again Q, 1 minus 1 by 2, you get again 1 by 2, 1 by 2 whole power 5 minus 2, 3, 5 minus 2, 3. So, in binomial distribution, the mainly asked questions are the total number of trials will be given and the number of times the success we want that question is asked, and mean of the binomial distribution is also asked, and variance and also standard deviation of the distribution. Here 4 things, friends. P is the probability of success and Q is the probability of failure. So P plus Q is always equal to 1. That is first point. P plus Q is always equal to 1. That is the first point. And the second point is finding mean of the distribution. Mean is equal to NP. Mean of the distribution, mean of the binomial distribution is equal to NP. You know N, number of tries. You know P, probability of getting success. And variance is equal to NPQ. And standard deviation of the data. Is equal to root NPQ. So, most of the questions in general in binomial distribution, these 4 things have to be remembered. Most of the questions revolve around these 4 points. Mean NP, variance NPQ, SD, standard deviation root of NPQ, where N is the total number of trials and where P is the probability of getting success and Q is the probability of not getting success, that is 1 minus P. Okay, friends. So, let us do some problems which are, I have selected some problems as I told you earlier. I have selected some problems. Most of the questions I have selected is previously asked Eamcet questions. Okay, friends. First, let us take up one first problem. Our first problem is, friends, the mean and standard deviation of a binomial variate x are 4 and root 3 respectively. Here mean is given, friends. Mean is given and standard deviation is given. Mean is given. Mean is how much? Mean is given. Mean is 4 and standard deviation is root 3. These 2 things are given, friends. Mean is given and standard deviation is given. We know the formula for mean. What is mean? Mean is equal to NP. So NP is given, friends. NP is 4. See, I shall read out the problem, friends. The mean and standard deviation of a binomial distribution, binomial variate x are 4 and root 3 respectively. Then find P of x greater than or equal to 1. We have to find P of x greater than or equal to 1, friends. Greater than or equal to 1 means, see, at least 1. that is 1 minus none, that we do. Okay friends, NP is 4, NP is 4, SD is root 3. SD formula we know, root of NPQ, root of NPQ. NPQ is root 3. NPQ is root 3 means friends, NPQ squaring on both sides, NPQ is 3. NPQ is root 3, of which NP is how much friends? 4. So 4Q is equal to 3. Q is equal to 3 by 4. Q is equal to 3 by 4 in the sense P is equal to 1 minus 3 by 4, that is equal to 1 by 4. So P is 1 by 4, Q is 3 by 4. So we have P 1 by 4, we have Q 3 by 4. Our task, so the two things which we require are clear. P is 1 by 4, Q is 3 by 4. What we want friends, the question is asked, what is the P of x greater than or equal to 1? X greater than or equal to 1. X greater than or equal to 1. See friends, first let us find n. Let us find n. NP is equal to 4. NP is equal to 4. N into P is how much friends? 1 by 4. 1 by 4. N into 1 by 4 is equal to 4. N is equal to 16. N is equal to 16. Friends, we know all the things. We know N, we know P, we know Q. So we can find anything. We can find anything. So N is equal to 16, P is equal to 1 by 4, Q is equal to 3 by 4. We can find anything from these three things. What we need to find? P of x greater than or equal to 1. At least 1. X greater than or equal to 1 means at least 1. At least 1 is equal to 1 minus none. 1 minus none. 1 minus none, that is equal to 1 minus P of x is equal to 0. 1 minus none means 1 minus P of x is equal to 0. That is equal to 1 minus P of x is equal to 0. NC0. N is 16. 16C0 into P. 1 by 4 whole power 0 friends. Into Q power n minus r. 16 minus 0. 16 minus 0 means 16. This is equal to 1 minus 16C0 is equal to 1 friends. 1 by 4 whole power 0 is 1 friends. 3 by 4 whole power 16. 1 minus 3 by 4 whole power 16 is our final answer friends. 1 minus 3 by 4 whole power 16 is our final answer friends. Okay friends, see here what is the data given? Mean is given. When mean is given, that should be made equal to NP. So NP is equal to 4. NP is equal to 4. Next, standard deviation is given. Standard deviation is root of NPQ. Root of NPQ is root 3. NPQ is 3. Standard NP is given. NPQ is given. So from these two things we can find 4Q is equal to 3. NP is equal to 4. 4Q is equal to 3. Q is equal to 3 by 4. P is equal to 1 by 4. And from this NP is equal to 4, we can find N. So we know N, we know P, we know Q. We can find anything. Here the question asked is what is the P of x greater than or equal to 1? X greater than or equal to 1 means at least 1. At least 1 means 1 minus none. 1 minus none, that is 1 minus of P of x is equal to 0. This is the first problem friends. Important problem friends. Keep those points in mind friends. So let us see what is the second problem. And the second problem is, friends, for a binomial variate x with n is equal to 6, if p of x is equal to 2 is equal to 9 into p of x is equal to 4. N is equal to 6, friends. N is equal to 6. For a binomial variate x with n is equal to 6, p of x is equal to 2 is equal to 9 into p of x is equal to 4. P of x is equal to 2 is equal to 9 into P of x is equal to 4, friends. P of x is equal to 2 is equal to 9 times of P is equal to x is equal to, then its variances. This is also Eamcet question, friends. This is also Eamcet question. N is given, and to find P and Q, we need three things, friends. In binomial distribution, we need three things. We need n, the number of tries, and we need p, and we need q, probability of success, probability of failure. N is given, and to find p and q, what is the support given? P of x is equal to 2 is equal to 9 into P of x is equal to 4. From this equation we can find P, and from that we can also find Q. Okay, friends, let us see. P of x is equal to 2. Because see, number of two successes out of 6 trials. Number of two successes out of n trials. That is, friends, NCR into P power R into Q power n minus R. Here we don't know P and here we don't know Q, so that's why we write as it is P, Q. 6c2 into p square into q power r is equal to 9 times of p of x is equal to 4, friends. X is equal to 4 in the sense, out of 6 trials, 4 successes. 6c4 into p power 4 into q power n minus r. This is the equation, friends. 6c2, 6c4 are same. NCR is equal to NCn minus R. So 6c2, 6c4 gets cancelled, and p square here, p square, q square here, q square. So q square is equal to 9 into p square. Here, friends, see, q square is equal to 9 into p square, and q is equal to 3p. And from this equation, friends, we can find p and q values. We know the equation p plus q is always equal to 1. Right, friends? P plus q is always equal to 1. P plus q, P plus, what is q? 3p. This is equal to 1. 4p is equal to 1. P is equal to 1 by 4. P is equal to 1 by 4 means q is equal to 3 by 4. So we know n, we know p, we know q, so we can find anything. What is the question asked, friends? What is the variance of the distribution? Variance, we know NPQ. Variance is equal to NPQ. N is equal to 6, P is equal to 1 by 4, and Q is equal to 3 by 4, friends. Right, friends? So to 2 3s, 9 by 8 friends. See, this is the variance NPQ is equal to 9 by 8 friends. Okay friends, so this is the second problem. This is the second problem. P, we got P, we got Q, and we have N, and by multiplying these three things, P, N, P, Q, we got variance that is 9 by 8 friends. Okay friends, now let us see the next problem friends. Friends, the next problem is, in a binomial distribution, the probability of getting success is 1 by 4 and the standard deviation is 3, and find its mean. This is also Eamcet question friends. This is also Eamcet question. The question is the probability of getting success. Probability of getting success means P is given friends. P is 1 by 4. P is 1 by 4. P is 1 by 4 friends. Then automatically Q is equal to 3 by 4. 1 minus 1 by 4, 3 by 4. So P and Q are known. And what else is given? Standard deviation is given. Standard deviation is 3. Standard deviation root of NPQ is given. Standard deviation friends, variance is equal to NPQ, standard deviation root of NPQ. So root of NPQ is given 3. Therefore NPQ is equal to 9. So P is known, Q is known, and NPQ is known. NPQ is known. Let us see what is to be found. And find the mean. Find the mean. Find the mean. Mean is equal to NP. Mean is equal to NP. So we should know N. NPQ is equal to 9 friends. N into P 1 by 4 into Q 3 by 4, that is equal to 9. That is equal to 9. 3 ones, 3 threes. N is equal to 4 fours 16, 16 threes 48. N is equal to 48. What we need to find? Its mean. Its mean. Friends, we need to find mean. Mean formula you know, NP. NP. N we got 48. Mean is equal to NP, that is equal to N48 into P. P 1 by 4. 48 into 1 by 4, 12. So 12 is your answer friends. Mean is equal to 12. 12 is your answer friends. Okay friends. So let us see the next question friends. See, first note friends, I tell you students, I tell you what is the data given. What is the data given? You note down those that data. Here what is given? Probability of getting success is given. That is P is given. So write P. From P you can find Q. 1 minus P. After that, what else is given? What else is given? Standard deviation is given. You know the standard deviation root of NPQ. Root of NPQ is equal to 3. From that NPQ is equal to 9. And from these three things you can find N. You can find N. You find N. And what is to be found? What is to be calculated? What is to be calculated? Computed. Mean is to be computed. Mean is to be computed. You know the formula for mean. You know the formula for mean. What is the formula for mean? NP. You know N, you know P. By doing N into P, you can find mean. Okay friends. Okay, let us see the next problem friends. Okay friends, the next problem is this. The probability of getting exactly 4 heads in 6 tosses of a coin. It's a very simple problem friends, very simple problem. A coin is tossed 6 times. A coin is tossed 6 times, that is n is equal to 6, very clear. And the probability of getting exactly 6 heads, 4 heads. So we have to get 4 times heads, 4 times heads. So n is given, n is 6, and how many times we have to get head? 4 times. That is R is equal to 4 in n trials or successes. N trials or successes. So 6 trials, that is 6 times the coin is tossed, and we have to get head or tail 4 times. That is R is equal to 4. What is the probability? So n is given, R is given, and P and Q we know. When a coin is tossed, probability of getting head is 1 by 2. That is P is equal to 1 by 2. And Q is also equal to 1 by 2. 1 minus 1 by 2 is equal to 1 by 2. We know n, we know R, we know P, we know Q. We know the formula NCR into P power R into Q power n minus R. NCR into P power R into Q power n minus R is the formula. So 6C4 into 1 minus 2 whole power R, P power R into Q power n minus R, This is you can simplify this thing. I am not going to simplify these things. So you can simplify this formula and get the answer. I am telling you what is the procedure? How to get the values of n? How to find the values of n, p, q? If you know the values of n, p, q, you can solve any question. I am not going to simplify this thing. So the expression is NCR into P power R into Q power n minus R, friends. Okay, friends. See, we can go to next problem. Friends, the next problem is if in a binomial distribution the mean is 20 and standard deviation is root 15, then P is, it is nothing for us, friends. Mean is given, mean we know, NP, mean is given, mean is equal to 20, fine, fine. What else is given? Standard deviation is given, standard deviation root 15. Standard deviation is equal to root 15. Standard deviation is root 15 means variance is equal to 15. Squaring standard deviation, we get variance. So we know NP, this is equal to NPQ. Variance is equal to NPQ. So NPQ is 15. NPQ is equal to 15. NP is equal to 20. So 20 into Q. 20 into Q is equal to 15. NP 20, friends. NP 20. So let us substitute NP 20. 20 into Q is equal to 15. Q is equal to 15 by 20, friends. 5 3s, 5 4s. Q is equal to 3 by 4. Q is equal to 3 by 4 in the sense P is equal to 1 by 4. P is equal to 1 by 4. So from the given data, NP SD means standard deviation. Standard deviation root 15 means variance becomes 15. Variance is equal to NPQ. So we know NP, we know NPQ. So from those two things we can find Q. From Q, we can also find P. We know P, we know Q. Let us see what need to be found. So find P. So friends, question is over. Question is over. He asked P. P is equal to 1 by 4. 1 by 4. Okay friends, let us see the next problem. Friends, in a binomial distribution, n is equal to 400, p is equal to 1 by 5, then find the standard deviation. This is nothing for you, friends. This is nothing for you. N is equal to 400, p is equal to 1 by 5, p is equal to 1 by 5, and p is equal to 1 by 5. They find the standard deviation. Standard deviation is equal to NPQ. Standard root of n, sorry friends. Standard deviation root of NPQ. Okay friends, doesn't matter. P is given. Since P plus Q is equal to 1, since P plus